So in my last video I had a viewer reach out and ask if I could design a chess rook. So let's do that. So first I'm going to look up some pictures of a chess rook. Go to Google Images and just kind of scroll around. First off, I'm liking this design. Don't really love this one. Don't really love this one. Like something like that or that. This one's a little too squished for me. Yeah, I like this. This is a good line draw. And now let's come over to my knight design because we want it to be roughly the same size. Go to a top view, grab the measuring tool, go from there to there. It looks like about 30 millimeters in diameter, so we can work with that. And then I'll get a height measurement real quick, just changing the work plane and then measuring from roughly the top to roughly the bottom. About 45 millimeters, so 30 millimeters in diameter, 45 millimeters tall, and then real quick we'll grab just kind of what it is in the middle. 17, great. And now we're going to go to tinkercad.com. If you don't have an account, you're going to have to log in, but eventually you'll get here and then you'll click create and then 3D design. So what you could do is you could just grab a bunch of discs and stack them on top of each other like this, and you'll get to a rook eventually that way, but there's a faster way that we're going to do in this video, and that is to use the Revolve Tool. So we're going to throw the Revolve Tool on the work plane and then just start drawing our outline. The first thing you want to note is your base needs to be exactly half of what you want it to be eventually, because when we revolve it, it's going to double the diameter. So if the diameter right now is 15, that will give us our desired 13 millimeters eventually. So we'll click here, we'll drag up 4 millimeters and then over 2.83 and then out a little bit, back in a little bit. And then we'll go out a little bit more and back in a little bit more, and then we'll just go up for a while, then out for a while, then up for a while, then over, because we could just do this here and then go down, but we want that crenellation, so we're going to go down first, then over, then down. Okay, looks like we're almost at our 45 that we're going for, so I'm just going to go ahead and set that to be 45, and then we'll drag the whole thing up. So now we've got an eventual diameter. Right now it's half the diameter, but an eventual diameter of 15 millimeters and an eventual height of 45 millimeters. And if we want to, we can grab another line to check how long this is. This is 9 times 2 would be 18. So yeah, we're roughly where we want to be size-wise. This part looks a little funky up here, but that's okay, we can fix that. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in, select this line, and then we're just going to kind of go ahead and move some things around. I like this height actually, maybe I'll make it a little bit smaller. Yeah, we'll do that, we'll drag this over a little bit. Actually, I'm going to change my snap grid to 0.1 because it's easier for stuff like this. This isn't super scientific, it's just kind of what you like. And then I'll select this middle dot and I'll curve it by clicking this, and you can kind of grab the handles and change how exactly you want it to look. You could do this option where you can adjust each side individually, but for this I'm going to go with the ones that kind of follow each other. So just kind of mess with that until you like how it looks. You can always come over here and zoom in and look around. I'm liking how that looks. Okay, so now we'll come up a little bit. Do this, mess with this a little bit. This is like a smaller ridge from what I remember. Yeah, let's look at that. Yeah, so this is a much smaller ridge, and it's going more in the direction with the other diagonal bit of the piece. So we'll do this a little bit more, kind of fill this out. Am I still liking how this is looking over here? Yeah, it's okay. And then round that out, move that in a little bit probably. Maybe move this piece in if I can grab it. Yeah, so that's looking pretty similar to what we've got right here, maybe a little bit more squashed. Now we're gonna come up here to this part. I feel like this might be a little thin. Yeah, so I'm gonna drag this down. Actually, this is a time where I'm gonna switch my snap grid back to 1 so I can snap. And drag that down to match. Yeah, we're gonna go with this, and we can always edit it later. Okay, so now there's some curved out bits right here. Yeah, so we've got a curve like we had down here, and then a kind of transition piece. So we don't have the dots for that, so I'm going to go here. We're going to add a few, drag that one out, change that one to a curve, drag it down a little bit, drag it up a little bit. I'm going to change my snap grid back to 0.1 for more precision. I'm actually going to move it all up because I think it's not far enough. I don't think I need that one, so I'm just going to select this and get rid of it, go back here. Can I just curve this like that? Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so that's a revolve. Again, you can see the preview right here. I'm going to hit finish sketch now. So there's our little chess piece. Now we're going to add these parts right here. Let's throw a hole inside, and then we can scale this down to be 5 millimeters by, it's currently 20. And then you could align this, or you can just make it so long that it's irrelevant. And then here I will align it. I'm going to hold shift, select both, and then align it along that axis. So, and then this one looks like it has 6 pillars. I don't know if I want to do 6 or if I want to do, so I just copied and pasted that. If I want to do 6 or if I want to do just 4. So we'll see. I'm actually going to lock the position of my rook and then lock the position of this hole, and then I'm going to shift select both the rook and that hole, and I'm going to go ahead and align these like so. Okay, I like that, yeah. Okay, so we're going to unlock this, select everything like so, and then we want to do a union group. And it's going to take a second to process probably because this geometry is a little bit more complicated than TinkerCAD's usually used to dealing with because of the fact we used Revolve. It is taking a while though, so I'm going to ungroup it and then try and... Now you have your very own chess pawn. Of course, if you want to go back in and change anything, you can just ungroup everything like so, click this, and then hit edit sketch, and go ahead and edit your sketch. Or you can also come out and edit your sweep, and then you can edit your sides and quality, and then your start position. Good job! You just finished creating your very own Chess Rook completely for free. If you're interested in creating more chess pieces, I have tutorials on how to create a pawn as well as a knight on my YouTube channel. And if you're interested in learning more about TinkerCAD generally, I have a TinkerCAD Toolkit course coming soon. You can go to payhip.com/devise3d and click the join email list button to be notified when the course goes live, and to get a link to the first unit that you can go through completely for free. If you enjoy this type of content, please subscribe, and I'll see you later.